So it's 11:24 on June 29th, 2022. I was going to show you. I'm not really. This federal courthouse right here. This is it. See that building? See the name on it? That's federal courthouse. Now, I just want to show people how far away I was when the evidence was stolen. I was literally just feet. My case was dismissed by the Honorable Judge Benito because it was too fanciful and fantastic, had no real evidence to back it up. The reason there was no evidence was because it was stolen. And it was stolen just feet from the courthouse. Filed a lawsuit about it, but they don't care about lawsuits. Here's the courthouse right here. So they got the picture posted online, and then right here is the offices of the Honorable FBI and Dante Salazar, who called my family. Federal Marshal Dante Salazar, who emailed me, wanted to see if he could help me. They called my family, asked me if I was crazy, as I was literally en route to Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia. And so that's the federal building. Okay, I want to show you how close I was when the evidence was stolen. I'm anxious to get this. So these are community-based agents. All right. So I've said this before in videos. I'm just going to make this short. These are fusion centers run by the Department of Homeland Security, used by all the alphabet agencies, including the FBI. But they use community-based agents who are always prior military, prior law enforcement, prior government, people who have some degree of expertise in the area of surveillance, counter-surveillance, etc. And the key is to keep the clearance. When they retire or when they leave the military, law enforcement, the government, they keep their clearance. And so they take up secondary occupations, such as security contractor or private detective, that allows them to cloak, to disguise their illegal activities on behalf of the government against, for example, targeted individuals and other ways, other people. But this allows them to double dip back into the coffers, take a secondary salary while they're receiving their pension or whatever. They get paid under the table, of course, but the point is, I was literally just feet from the courthouse when the evidence was stolen. I had to file a lawsuit, but they don't care about lawsuits. Lawsuits mean nothing to them. They don't care about lawsuits. And here's the Superior Court of, I got the green light. Here's the Superior Court of California, where I filed my case against the police, but was unable to prosecute it like the others because of directed energy torture and violent attacks that are continuing to go on, deadly attacks. I mean, they're beating me up everywhere. Been doing it for many years. But yeah, so right down here, there's the Superior Court. Right over there, that's the federal building. Okay, right over there. So I actually had a case filed. I had filed multiple cases, but this was an active case, and I was trying to submit evidence. I had a lot of evidence I needed to submit. Never happened. Never happened, because before that could happen, the government informants, the informant-provocateurs, perpetrators, just stole everything. They left the suitcase, stole everything out of it, and right in front of my face. And I had camera glasses. I filmed it. I caught it all on video. I caught most of it on video. And I called the police. Police came and the officer, it's all a game of deception and manipulation. The officer told me that there was a crime committed. He could see that property had been taken. He was looking at the empty suitcase. And there were surveillance cameras, so he couldn't deny that it happened. So he filed a police report, gave me a number, told me to go see the police, who said I was crazy, made it all up, called in a psychiatrist on me to intimidate me. Okay? And then they demanded that I stop recording it was just, they said, we want to help you. And then they frisked me, but they never detained me, never read my rights. But it was just all a game to harass me. But all target individuals are going through the same thing. It's not just me. I mean, I'm not the only one. But, so we're one block. These community-based agents are private detectives. They're security consultants. They're people who, in these streets, I mean, the average person could walk down the street and they don't necessarily see it. They don't see what's happening. But the provocations are designed, they're severe at regular intervals, and they're designed to keep the victim sensitized. They want to keep the victim sensitized to the fact that the provocations are happening, so it can be achieved more subtly. And now we're 2 blocks, but with the same desired effect. So this is now 2 blocks away from the federal courthouse. And so right up here, 1 block away is, so 3 blocks. 3 blocks away is where I was when the evidence was stolen in the federal lawsuit. And the police even determined a crime that happened. These guys right here, these honorable guys, who called in a helicopter to try to track down my knife attack. One of the guys that attacked me with a knife has done it twice here. So we're now 2.5 blocks. Guess what? Guess where it happened at? Trolley stop. Train transit zone. Transit zone. Target you in transit zones. They just beat me up 2 days ago in a train. Well, he kneed me in my back, knocked me to the ground because of the pain. So I fell down because of the pain. But the point is, I have weak legs, and if there's trauma, I fall down. You know, it doesn't take much to knock me down. And so, right here, in front of the police headquarters, city headquarters, right there. So 3 blocks. 3 blocks away, with surveillance cameras everywhere. See these surveillance cameras above me? They were there when they stole the evidence from me. They didn't bother looking at the surveillance cameras. Right here. This is it. This is where it was stolen. Government informants turned into provocateurs and government perpetrators. This is the exact spot. The suitcase was sitting up against the wall, just like that. Just like that. This is the exact spot where they stole the evidence. Surveillance cameras everywhere. That's a city office. You saw the police cars. So we're 3 blocks from the federal courthouse. Before I could literally cross the street and walk and get that evidence submitted, they stole it. Stole it out of my, and of course my lawsuit is dismissed later by the Honorable Judge Benito. Sure, he's a faithful justice. On the grounds, it's just too fanciful and fantastic, and there's no real evidence to back it up. This is what target individuals go through on a daily basis. They don't care about the law. Once they take everything from you. They take your job, they take your health, they take your financial security, they take your family, your friends. It's about thanatology, which is not just physical death, but social death, cultural death, psychological death, emotional death. They're trying to walk a person to his death. It's called hyper game theory. And they use other models of deception and manipulation. But that's how trauma-based mind control works. So what's the address? The address is right here. C Street, 300 block. Trolley station. They attack their victims in transit zones where the rules are more strict, and so it's easier to set up and entrap the victim. You see, I've had them walk up to me with cameras and with phone camera, stick a camera in my face, stand 10 feet from me and just point the camera right at me. What they wanted me to do was pull out my camera in the airport and start filming me. That's entrapment. That's total entrapment. But that's these entrapment games have been going on. They tried to get me to sell. Either they were trying to get me to buy painkillers from them without a prescription, or they were trying to get me to sell my painkillers. But he would say, hey man, I deal painkillers. I can help you with painkillers. You need any painkillers? Well, they knew that I was taking painkillers. You know? And this guy had befriended another guy in the house that was staying where I was staying. So he was just coming right into the house. Coming right. So I couldn't get away from it. I mean, they just walked right into your home. Ask my aunt and uncle. They lived next door to the FBI in Columbia, South Carolina for many years. He was their normal neighbor. No trouble. For many, many years. And then suddenly overnight, house is being broken into every night. Vandalism, or theft of property, and they're stealing like the little stupid stuff, you know, to provoke memory and thought. They're targeting my aunt and my uncle. But all of these constant break-ins and sabotage of property and everything is going on right next door, not down the street. 300 feet from their front door. Their next door. I want to highlight that word, next. Their next door neighbor was head of the FBI for Columbia, South Carolina, state of South Carolina, special agent in charge for that office. For the whole office. And that's their next door neighbor. Right here's what happened. This is where the evidence was stolen. 3 blocks from the federal courthouse. It's Brian 2. It's 11:37, June 29, 2022. Ears are ringing, head and ears and pulsating, pain just constantly being targeted.